Guys, so today I wanted to talk to you about a question that I had to ask myself because it seems to be coming up a lot lately in everything I watch, everything I read, all my conversations with people. So that question is, why do you do what you do? Now, it's a pretty general question. You can apply it to anything in your life, your lifestyle, your beliefs, your country, where you live, your relationships, anything. But I'm going to focus it on minimalism. And so a few days ago I asked myself this, and I really had to dive deep into myself and really try to figure out why exactly I do what I do and why am I a minimalist. And my answer is it's emotional for me, emotional reaction that I have. Since the time I was born, I have moved a total of 18 times. And that's actually caused me a lot of anger that I've had to deal with, mostly because of like my childhood. The only thing I had that was consistent in my childhood was living at my grandparents' house. That was always the safe place. If something wasn't working out, we would move back. And then after a while, we'd move out again. It wouldn't work, we'd move back. And so that was just, it was where I felt safe. That was my home. That was just where I wanted to be. I remembered two things while asking myself this question. The first one is that every time we would move, my mom would give me a large plastic bin and tell me that all of the clothes and all of the toys and everything that me and my sister wanted to keep had to fit into this bin. Everything else they would be either getting rid of or putting in storage. And that wasn't really hard to do because when you're a kid and when you're a preteen, I kind of feel like it's easier because you know what your favorite things are, you know what you like, and it's just easier to get rid of things such as clothing and toys and stuff like that. So it wasn't a hard thing to do, but it was frustrating that I had to go through that, and several times. I think for me, it's one of those things where when I start to feel anxiety and feel like I can't breathe because I have too much stuff, it's just the cycle from my life, because every year or two I was moving. I was having to get rid of things. I was having to pack as little as possible, and I was having to go to living in a one room with my parents and my sister, or sharing a room with my sister, and really just having very limited space that I could call my own. Now, my husband asked me not too long ago, why was I packing everything up? Why was I feeling like this? Why was I always mad and frustrated and just not in a good mood? Like, what was going on with me? And I honestly didn't know how to answer him, other than the fact that like I just had too much stuff and I felt like I couldn't breathe. When I asked myself this question a few days ago, it seemed to click with me that that's just been the cycle of my life. That's what I go through. So every year or two, I just get major anxiety and feel like I need to just go through everything and get rid of a bunch of stuff, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think it's always good to kind of go through your things to get rid of, you know, kind of clean house, spring clean, I guess you could say. But the fact that I've had to do that my entire life and for such heavy kind of reasons really has me pretty angry that was my childhood. Yeah, my grandparents, they were the only consistent thing in my life. So when they passed away, I felt like their house, it was no longer my home because my aunt and uncle moved into it and it's their house now. So I feel like I lost my grandparents, I lost my home, my safe place, and I just feel like, okay, if it goes bad, I can't go back, you know, like it's just not a possibility. So I have this feeling that I'm just kind of wandering about in life. Like, even now that we have our apartment here, it's all of my decorations. I cook when I want, I clean when I want. It's 100% my own, but it's still not home. And I kind of feel like it's just time, you know, like it's time to move according to my life, and I can't move, so I think that causes even more anxiety. And so that is kind of the main reason why I am a minimalist. But I do think it's good in a way because it did show me and teach me that I can live with less, that having a lot of possessions, a lot of things, and just a lot of stuff is just not necessary, and it's not needed, and probably is not good for me anyway. Because I did spend a lot of time at my grandparents' house, with them being baby boomers, and really their generation being like a collective generation, a generation where you just get more and more and more, and you make your home and you get settled and everything, versus my generation where everything that I've ever known has become completely outdated and unnecessary, and just looking for a more simpler way with less things. So I kind of feel like I struggle between those two generations, and it's definitely been hard because I want to decorate my home, I want to make it nice, make it warm and welcoming. On the other hand, I want to get rid of everything and live in my backpack. So that has been kind of a challenge, but in a good way, because I'm learning more about myself and how I think and everything. So I think that's kind of something cool to be able to look at and to see just kind of the challenges I've had in my life and why I've had those, because of the way I was raised and just things that have happened in my life. So I just wanted to ask you guys this question too and start up a conversation, like what's your biggest interest or your biggest deal in life? And just ask yourself, why do I do what I do when it comes to that or a person or anything? So that is just my little kind of, not a backstory, but just what I asked myself and what I discovered about myself. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.